Alright, so what's up guys? Today I thought I would run you through a sketchbook I've been working on. This is actually for a little project called the Official Sketchbook Artists of the Brooklyn Art Library, which is kind of cool. It's this little project they're doing where artists from all around the world are actually submitting these sketchbooks. They send this to you in the mail, and yeah, you can do whatever you want in them, go crazy, just let your art and creativity flow, and basically when you're done, send it off to them and it becomes part of a massive collection of these that are archived forever. So basically, yeah, it's kind of like a time capsule for art. It's pretty cool. So this is my submission. It actually comes as a little brown book in the beginning, no cutout, nothing. I decided to kind of go a little crazy on the cover, as you can see, throwing the birdhouse out there, and I got this little cutout, but it opens up to the first image, which, as you can see, very simple. This actually was the beginning of the whole project here for me. This was done on the train. I was literally sitting on the train on the way to work. I just had this book unused, untouched for a couple of months, just sitting in my bag, and I decided, hey, you know what? Let's give it a go. So it started with this first image, which I've been meaning to do this one for a long time, so it was good to get it out. What you're going to notice in this book is a lot of minimalistic work. I love minimalistic images. I love silhouettes, shadows, all that kind of thing. It's just great. It's great to play with these, you know, juxtapositions of light, and it's awesome. So, second one being super simple, right? Just this dude walking, minimalistic shadow. Love it. So simple, not much to it, quick and easy. Yeah. Same kind of vibe, right? So we got this cool horizon line with, you know, silhouettes of the birds. You're gonna see a lot of the silhouettes, as I said. Some real simple pieces. It's doodling, right? It's basically, it's sketching, having fun, whatever comes to mind, just kind of do it, see what happens. See if you like it or you don't like it. Yeah, number 3, love this piece. I don't actually know how this happened. It was just kind of messing around, you know, had that simple concept of somebody peeking out of the darkness, and came out pretty sick. I love this drawing actually. It's a very strong imagery, and yeah, very good. It's actually started being crazy realistic. Next up, I'm gonna say my least favorite one in the series, but yeah, this little, again, horizon line, very simple, very minimalistic, of footsteps in the snow. Yeah, I don't know what happened here, okay? This just happened. I was bored, I needed to get this out of me, and I went a little crazy with the black pen, and it resulted in kind of this weird design style, paintbrush stroke vibe piece, which, you know, it's kind of cool, it's different. Probably the most different piece in the whole series here. So, I also started adding in prints. This is just a printed piece of one of my drawings. This is a much bigger drawing, but couldn't fit in the book, so I decided to print it out and add this in, just, you know, something I'd like to archive as well. And this is a drawing of my left hand, right? So this is titled Lefty. This is a drawing that I had concept of, and I want to redraw this image, or redraw my own hand, in about 30 years from now. So you get this, you know, 30-year-old hand versus 6-year-old hand, and just kind of see the change. I think it's a cool concept. I'm looking forward to doing that in 30 years, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, this was a strong image to me. I really enjoy where this came from. This was during the Black Lives Matter movement, and I was just thinking, like, you know, having come from South Africa and like all the hardships South Africa goes through in terms of equality, I just thought this would be a strong image with, you know, 2 different hands reaching out to each other and just kind of finding this unity, and came out quite nice. I like it. The message is strong, and I hope it kind of reflects that to everybody else. But yeah, it's just a sketch, just a doodle at the same time. So this might actually become a bigger body of work at some point. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, I don't know. So I was lying in bed one night, and I had these random little creatures in my head for a couple of days actually, and I just needed to get them out, so I kind of threw them on the page, and it's unlike anything else in this book. But you know what, it happened, and here we are. these random little floating creatures. So is what it is, and that's why you have sketchbooks. Yeah, next up we've got this wild piece, kind of more of a fashion aspect side of things. Decided to throw this image onto a page, and it's kind of like a paint splatter hitting this model's head kind of vibe. It's just splattering backwards. It's different, it's unique. Again, very strong, dark and light, kind of where I generally sit with most of my images, so I thought, why not? And here we have it. Next up. Look at that, another one. Yeah, so same idea, kind of landscape, nature, people, all these kinds of things thrown into this book, and here we have sort of an architectural vibe, very dark imagery just in terms of the background. But yeah, just a cyclist on a highway, very minimalistic, very interesting composition to me. Not something I'd usually do, but I thought I'd give it a shot, and yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. Next up, yeah, man, this is a kind of dreamy shot in a weird way, but it's, you know, there's a few ways you can interpret that, as you might do your own interpretation. But yeah, this is kind of a dude, you know, walking above, if you can imagine him walking on a plane of glass above you, kind of looking down, couple fat rolls, couple double chins showing that, but yeah, I like the imagery. I initially thought about putting him on like a grate, walking on a grate above me, sort of if you imagine Subway underneath those grates shooting up, but I decided to leave out the grate, and I love this like floating imagery in the clouds kind of vibe, and a little dreamy, yeah, a little bit surreal. Alright, now this is another print from another big drawing of mine done in 2020, but this is a little bit of those African roots showing. Got my trunk, so I'm sure a few of you have seen this image already, kind of the actual drawing of this. But yeah, this is elephant trunk. I really enjoy it. It's seriously, I'll never draw an elephant trunk again in my life. It was a seriously crazy situation trying to get all the detail in that trunk, but very happy with the outcome, so can't complain. Next up, another print of another large drawing. Another 2020 piece showing right here, and this is part of the Antler series. Yeah, this is kind of where my realism kind of kicked off. But yeah, 2020 was quite a year, and with a lot of free time during the lockdown, I decided to throw myself into these projects. And actually, the first part of this series is this one right here. So my beautiful wife decided to somehow, I still don't know how she did it, but she allowed me to use her as my first reference and my first image to give this a go. And I love this image like crazy. It's such a powerful image. It's one of those things you interpret your own meaning, but it's a powerful image. It has a little bit to do with, like, you know, power, and a little bit to do with weakness at the same time, like this juxtaposition of strength and weakness, and mental health and all sorts. Like, it's just such a powerful image to me. But interpret that how you will, let me know. Next up, the most recent one, you've seen this. It is the Pandemic series drawing. It is much bigger than this, but having to print it and put in the book, it looks kind of cool, small. But yeah, this is a made of my Neil, and this is a this is an interesting piece that I did for 2020. I kind of took influence from the hardships that we are going through right now as a world with this global pandemic, and all of the hardships that people are facing behind closed doors. I kind of decided to put emotion onto paper, you know, and there's a lot of people right now feeling alone, feeling desperate, feeling lost, and I just decided it needed to be kind of put into art, and I decided to do this piece here. I have another 2 coming up for this one. You know, you'll see it on the channel at some point. And that is it, guys. Nice little finish up. It's as simple as that. You know, it's a really cool concept, this sketchbook project, and you know, if you guys want to take a look at it, feel free to go to the website. I'll put that below as well, but just so you get a chance to see what else there is, see what other artists have put up, and it's just a great project to archive art for future generations. Yeah, and let me know what you think. I think the front cover speaks volumes, but it's a bit all over the place. There's a bit of everything. But yeah, that's the book.